Hello. Hi. I haven't been here, meaning practicing online, for it feels like 3 weeks. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen today. I personally wanted to wear my comfiest clothes and wanted to greet this. Oops. I just wanted to greet this new space that I'm in. It's a work in progress. I have no idea if this arrangement is going to stay. I know the books are going to stay, the bowls are going to stay, but we'll see. And yeah, I'm just ready to start. I'm ready for a 30-minute practice. Um, I really don't know what I want to do today. I know I see Paul is in the room. He might still be in the room. He might have left. I'm not sure. But Paul, sorry, I'm half an hour late. So, and for anybody else in the room, hello. So, I want to begin just seated and quiet. I want to be quiet. I want to enjoy quiet, and it is one of the beauties of what people think is an unfortunate situation. So, being divorced, I have the kids half of the week. It means that the other half of the week, I have more control over what's happening in my environment, and that's a nice thing sometimes. So now I'd like to experience the quiet that is in this space. And so if you'll join me, sit tall, lift the crown of the head upwards, relax the eyes. Relax the mouth. Relax into your center. We're going to begin with Shiva Mantra. You can stay as you are, or if you know it, you can join me. Bringing hands together. I bow to the presence of the divine within, our true and highest teacher, that lives in and around us as being, consciousness, and bliss. It is ever present and radiates peace, lighting the way to transformation. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's start with child's posture, coming onto hands and knees. And then right into child. So hips down, head down. Into victorious breath, Ujjayi Pranayama. Deep breath in through the nose, fog out through the mouth. Fog in through the mouth. Close the mouth. Exhale through the nostrils. So looking for consistent breath, fogging in and out with the lips sealed. 5 or 6 second inhalation, 5 or 6 second exhalation. And then as we're here, because I want to specifically focus on this space that I'm in, I want to greet this space and feel connected to this space, thinking this physical structure that we think maybe isn't alive, but is. It really, everything that is alive. And so I want to take a moment to sink into the space and feel it and offer it my service, my care. And so you can join me in doing the same with your own space. And then when you're ready, start to rise. We'll come up to a table posture. And right from here, we'll roll over the toes, press into the balls of the feet, and then lift the hips up into a downward facing dog. And whatever the heck I'm wearing isn't going to really help visually today figure out what's happening with my legs. So just be in your practice and do what feels right. At this time, we're going to step the right foot forward between the hands. Press the left heel down and then rise up into warrior A just for a breath so that we can just kind of see what's tight, what's the body feel like, and then bring the hands down, and then we'll step back into downward facing dog. And then from here we'll step the left foot between the hands. Right heel can press down, feeling tightness in the calf, the hamstrings. Reach the arms upwards. And then exhale, we'll take hands down once again, find downward facing dog. And then we're just going to interchange and go through this a few more times. So stepping right foot forward, left heel down, inhaling arms up. Exhaling hands down, downward facing dog. Now if you like, you can inhale the left leg up and then exhale, step it between the hands, right heel presses down, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down. You might take the left leg back up into a three-legged dog. And then we'll just continue, right leg. Arms up. Hands down. So we'll go through maybe once or twice more and then just see, if you want to stop or if you want to stay moving or resting. And maybe about 5 or 6 more breaths. We're going to meet in a child's posture. So whenever you get there, breathing consistently, connecting to the space around. Maybe you're in a tight space, maybe a makeshift space, or maybe a very established space in terms of setting up your practice there. Maybe a space you spend a lot of time in or not a lot of time in. Just connecting to it either way. Okay, let's rise up to table. Come into downward facing dog. This time we'll step both of the feet forward to the top of the mat. Bring the big toes together, the heels apart, bend the knees and press them into each other. And then when you're ready, rise up into Utkatasana chair posture, or fierce posture, I feel like is a better name for it. We're going to pull the pelvis down. You can't see a thing with this. And then we'll take the arms upwards. So, I really love to wear loose clothing, and the only time I feel like form fitting is important is for people to see what is happening with the structure of the body. But if you're listening to your body, you can sense what I'm saying. Your butt is either sticking out, and I usually say tailbone, but just to be very clear, it's either sticking out here, and then we have to correct that by pulling it in. So tucking the pelvis in, shifting the tailbone down. Okay, arms are reaching up. Now we're going to strengthen the feet by lifting the heels. Okay, and now you might lift just for a moment and set down. You might be able to lift all the way and sink the hips. And you can bring the hands in if it's getting a little intense. You're going to feel the legs strengthening as well. You might do one leg or the other, one foot or the other, I mean. One more breath. Heels down, fold forward over the legs, straightening them. And then we'll step the left foot back. And from here, let's take the right foot to the right side of the mat, bring the hands to the inside of the right foot. Feeling a nice low lunge. Left knee can come down if you'd like. And then maybe you sink into this. So if you have blocks, you can bring forearms to blocks. Or forearms to the mat, or you're just bending the elbows with the hands down. And as you're here exploring, you can roll over the toes, lift the knee, set the knee down, bring the top of the foot to the mat. You might do this once or twice. And as you're doing that, you feel changing, opening. And then maybe resting the head somewhere. Or just letting it hang loose. 2 breaths. And then from here we'll start to rise. So hands down, roll over the toes. Let's reverse out of this and come back into a chair just for 3 breaths. So stepping the right foot towards the center of the mat, step the left foot forward, big toes together, bend the knees, lift the trunk, reach the arms up, and then begin to lift the heels. And maybe you can sense a little bit of a difference in one leg compared to the other based on what we've done. Take another breath. Lower the heels, fold forward. Step the right foot back, heel toe the left foot to the left edge of the mat, hands to the inside of the foot. Separate the feet, make sure left knee is over the left ankle. And then once you feel this low lunge, the knee lifted, you might lower the knee, top of the foot to the mat. You might bend the elbows. You can bring the hands in a little bit so you can get some more even pressure on the hands and not so much into the wrists. And that back foot, you might roll over and lift the knee, roll over the toes, lift the knee, and then set the knee down, top of the foot to the mat. And we will work a little bit more on feet today. So we're doing some strengthening, and then we'll do some stretching. We'll say a couple more deep breaths. This is stretching areas that people tend to really neglect. So all around the pelvic region and underneath the inner thigh, and then right under that towards the glute. So feeling this space open. And then we'll start to rise, roll over the back toes. We'll step forward, so we'll heel toe left foot forward first, then right foot steps forward. You can keep the big toes together. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then we'll take the hands, bring them together, thumbs to the heart center. Take the arms, and we'll release them alongside the body. And then let's just find some movement. I actually don't have my clock in front of me today, so I really don't know what time it is. That's one thing I did not set up here. Okay. All right. So just a little bit more. So as we're here, we'll take some circles with the arms, and then maybe tilting the head one way, tilting the head the other way. Bringing the head to center, and then we're going to come right down to seated. So you can cross the ankles, sit up nice and tall, and let us go into that position we started in with hands to knees, palms down or palms up. Lift the crown of the head, and just notice that short period, just a few things that we've done, what that has done for you and for your body and for your mind. And then we'll lower the chin to the chest. And let the head get heavy. And begin to circle the head nice and slow, inhaling to one side and back, exhaling other side and down. Once you find chin to chest, rotate the other way. And once you find chin to chest, we'll shake the head out and then come to center. Okay. Whew, let's roll our shoulders a few times. I have extra clicking in my shoulders today. Who invited all of these sounds? Okay, let's take the left leg out to the left. So I'll just go out in a mirror image here. So left leg out to the left, right foot can stay in the center. And what we're going to do is grasp this big toe with the peace fingers. So we're still, trunk is going center, the left leg is off to the left. And then we'll start to go forward a little bit, so we could take right hand and crawl forward. And then we'll inhale, come to center. So now we'll switch and start to face what would be, maybe the back of your mat. Keeping the legs like this, but now facing the leg. And then from here we can have hands supporting behind, and we'll be flexing and pointing this right foot a few times. So flexing, toes drawing in, heel pressing out, pointing, excuse me, toes pointing forward, and really trying to straighten up and as much as possible lower this. So what we'll do is actually put a little pressure, and you might have to bend the knee to do it depending on where you're at, but just see if you can go forward and press down onto the top of the foot. Now as I'm here, I'm trying to also create some resistance, so I'm pushing the foot into my hand and then releasing it. I'm just doing this a couple times, more than a couple times really. And then exhaling and really stretching, pointing the toe, again, putting some pressure there. This top of the foot is not stretched very often, so if you feel really intense there, it's okay. We'll go ahead and rise, release that. And now flex the foot, and we'll inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, hands somewhere to the leg, maybe back of the thigh, the calf, maybe the foot. And then on the inhalation, lift the heart. On the exhalation, send the heart forward. One more breath. And we'll rise. Come to face the side of the mat. And this time we'll switch. So you're working on the left leg. Now you'll work on the right leg. Take that leg out to the side. Left foot is center. See if you can grasp the big toe with the peace finger, and like this is totally fine. Right, so see what works, and then just take left hand and maybe crawl forward. Another breath. And we'll rise and turn to what would probably be the front of your mat. So from here we will have hands behind, flex and point the foot. Okay, now we're going to point the foot and see if we can come forward enough. Remember, bending the knee is going to make it kind of hard to point, but it's okay. Just get there, do your best, and then push down once you make your way. Once there, really pointing, and then maybe creating some resistance. So pushing the foot into the fingers, pushing the fingers back into the foot. It's interesting. It's just a small little thing can make such a big difference. My right foot feels great. It's the one I worked on. So let's go ahead and just press down as we point. It's really, this area has opened a real lightness in that space. And that's because it's much better than it was before. These spaces, when we say they open, they expand, energy more freely moving through. The matter less bogged down. Okay, and then we'll rise. So this time now we'll flex the foot. Take the arms upwards. Exhale, lower. So you might notice that you can flex the foot a little bit more easily now. So on the inhale, lift. On the exhale, fold. Do your best to keep the spine straight as much as you can here. Shoulders back as much as you can. And 2 more breaths. We'll rise, and then we'll face, you could face forward, cross the ankles. Let's take shoulders up towards the ears, exhale them back and down. And then we're going to sit right on top of the left hand and tilt the head to the right. I'm going to get a little deeper into the sides of the neck, into the upper trapezius. And we don't do these things just for the sake of the body itself. Now, most of us find our way into yoga for that reason. I know I did. But we have to at least know inside of ourselves that there's a bigger reason. The body is really important, but it's also really important because when we can release this tension, the mind is more free, the mind is more open. It isn't so constricted by bogging down subconscious thoughts about achy body. So this is a really tight spot for many people. Now if you'd like a little bit more into the upper trapezius, you can shift the chin downwards towards the right thigh. And we'll bring the nose to face forward, bring the head to center. So release the hands to the knees just for a moment. Close the eyes and sense the difference between the left side of the neck, the right side of the neck. And also the shoulder. You'll notice the shoulder you worked on, you could sense that it's feeling lower, and it probably is lower than the other side. Okay. Maybe even see if you can visualize the difference, picturing it. And then we'll switch. So we'll sit right on top of the right hand. You can lift the shoulder, then drop it down. Tilt the head to the left. Okay, maybe lower the chin downward. So it's basically getting closer to the left shoulder, facing the left arm, the left thigh. So you can feel the shift of that stretching action towards the back of the neck, feeling towards the upper back. And we'll let the face come forward, bring the head to center, release the hand. We're going to move the head, so maybe taking it back and down. Eventually make your way to circles again like we started with. And then finding center once you've made your way all the way around the neck, a few times one way, a few times the other. What we're going to do is end with something that feels like your body would benefit from it. So I want to leave that up to you. I also will help me go inside of myself and be quiet internally and feel what I need. So you might need a moment to feel that. Just finding stillness. And then finding the final posture for your practice today. Maybe it's a few or a couple, depending on what you're doing. And then we'll rest when you're ready. So finding your way all the way to the back or to the side of your body, whatever feels good. As you're finding your way on the back, sinking into this space that you are in again, sinking in and saying thank you for the space that you're in, for all of the parts of the structure, or if you're outside, you can connect to the natural surroundings of maybe grass or trees, flowers. And if you're inside, you can consider the structure, any steel or wood, metal, fabric, drywall, plaster, whatever it is that's around you. Saying thank you for supporting you in your practice today. And then allowing maybe a promise, giving yourself a chance to promise to that space that you will care for it, you will tend to it, you will be its caretaker. And then relaxing into that, sinking into the space. We'll slowly come back to a deeper breath. Come into some movement. Maybe the head sways, maybe the hands, fingers, feet move. And maybe you take a little more time to rise or just kind of rock right up. We're going to close the eyes and take a moment to go into just a short affirmation. So once you're here, you can bring hands together. This comes from the Theosophical Handbook of Healing, I believe. I and the soul are one. I, the soul, will use the personality this day in love and service. I and the soul are one. I, the soul, will use the personality this day in love and service. I and the soul are one. I, the soul, will use the personality this day in love and service. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and for sharing this new space that I'm in and sharing your space that you're in. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste. Thank you. I hope you had a good shorter practice, even though I really lost track of time. I will be having a different schedule coming up. I don't know the schedule yet, but I have some ideas about what I'd like to try next. So what I was doing before was lunchtime practice, 50-minute practice from 11 a.m. to 11:50 Eastern Standard Time. But I'd like to do something different, which might involve an early morning practice, a lunchtime practice, maybe one evening practice per week. I myself am not much into, I don't know if it's practicing, but maybe it's more like teaching or leading a class in the evenings. I find that by evening I'm reserving my energy to get me to bed safely. So I don't know what is needed or desired by others. If you have any feedback, feel free to let me know. But because of that, I'm going to try different things, and that way having one lunchtime class per week or something like that means that you might be able to line up your schedule to be able to commit to something like that, as opposed to just having one offering one time all the time. And I would like to do some more interactive practices as well, so that I bring Zoom in and it's not going to be only on the YouTube, which is very anonymous, and really you aren't going to be getting much feedback from me that way. So I do want to go back into the format of being able to give feedback. So I wish you a beautiful day, and I will see you soon. whenever that will be. I'll try to be clear about it. Namaste.